Folks, if you've been wanting to upgrade the gaming rig for a while, but you simply don't have any room in the budget to invest anymore with the crazy prices of GPUs the way they've been for quite some time now, then I have good news for you. Thanks to some interesting developments in the wonderful world of international tariffs, there's going to be some big price drops. In fact, we're already starting to see some big drops in prices in some very, very top tier brands when it comes to high-end GPUs, meaning you may have the means sometime soon to put some money down and get yourself into the higher tier of FPS, resolution, all that, and here's how and why. There's a few conflating reasons behind how expensive and short on supply graphics cards have been for the past few years. The rise of crypto mining turned GPUs into a potential investment property, and suddenly hundreds of thousands of cards were being brought up from an entirely separate market than what any producers were used to when it came to predicting volume. This increased perceived value on the potential to farm speculative assets also led to a rise in scalpers, who further jacked up the prices into ranges you'd have to have a successful Bitcoin farm to afford, and even then those got bought. Finally, all of this was exacerbated by restrictions on trade that went into effect back in 2018, specifically those on certain types of Chinese goods. While some of these restrictions remain in place, that list has gotten thinner under the current administration, and recently, via a rather dense and boring government notice, a whole new batch of items were announced to be reinstated, including, quote, printed circuit assemblies for rendering images onto computer screens, aka GPUs. Put that alongside a relative downturn in the demand from the crypto side of things due to a combination of reasons that are a little bit too complicated to get into here, and you have not only an increase in supply by virtue of the basic components they need being a lot cheaper, alongside a decline in demand that we've been seeing steadily decrease the prices of GPUs for a while now. They've been high for a very, very long time, but in relatively recent times, the past couple of months to maybe about half a year or a full year or so, they have been on enough of a decline that some people were already starting to snatch up deals relative to the previously inflated prices. But now, this is all culminated in a great announcement from Asus, as reported on by Tom's Hardware, where Asus gives the following ray of hope to gamers everywhere. As a result of the latest tariff lift on Chinese imports from the Office of the United States Trade Representative, gamers and PC enthusiasts will see lower prices on Asus GeForce RTX 30 series graphics cards starting on April 1st, 2022. And as you may have noticed, April is indeed here, and we are starting to see those price drops. A lot of valuable cards are still not quite selling for MSRP, but the markup is still definitely less severe. Deal hunting havens like the Build to PC Sales subreddit have been showing off some of the more remarkable sales, and even if some of the cards are still outside of the average gamer's budget, certainly outside of mine, they're part of a larger trend. Asus may be the one that announced direct drops to their prices, and it may only be on the 30 series cards, but it's having ripple effects. Competitors are dropping their markups to stay competitive, additional supply across the board means less people are desperate enough to buy from scalpers, and when there's not an absence of 30 series cards, that lessens the demands on older series cards as well, which is helping out the people in the mid-range. Altogether, if you're like me and you've been putting off a much needed computer upgrade for a while, now is definitely the time to start deal hunting, as things are only set to improve as time goes on. So let me know in the comment section down below how you're feeling about this news. Are you ecstatic that you may finally get the chance to see a 30 series in your gaming rig sometime in the near future? Are you, for the time being, despite how good these deals may be, perfectly happy with the 2080 Ti you've got going on and you don't really feel the need to go anywhere? Or are you perhaps still not exactly sure what the letters and numbers on the ends of these different graphics cards mean? Be honest, I understand. Every company uses a different set, it's confusing, but one way or another, do let me know in the comment section down below, and I will let you know, of course, when there is more news in the wonderful world of gaming to keep a close eye on. Until then, folks, that's all I've got for you. So thank you so much for joining, and once again, have yourselves a good one.